Today on the AI Applied podcast, we are talking healthcare and specifically Google and specifically AlphaFold. You may remember AlphaFold is developed by DeepMind, and it's a system that predicts 3D structures of proteins and things like this, but it has had an amazing impact on healthcare, drug discovery, things like that, all this kind of amazing stuff, accelerating research in biology. And just recently, they announced AlphaFold 3, which expands just beyond predicting protein structures and now models like various like molecules and DNA and RNA and all this kind of stuff. But the capacity of this stuff just looks absolutely amazing. And Jaden has always been super into the advances in healthcare. Jaden, have you been seeing this? What are your thoughts on this one?
Oh yeah, you know me already. I'm like so excited about this.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I've obviously never worked in healthcare or even in anything adjacent to it. But as a consumer of healthcare and with a family that consumes healthcare, I'm super excited. I think everyone can relate on that. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm a doctor, so I'm excited about this. It's like we all go to a hospital or know someone that goes to a hospital and want them to get the best care possible. So, whatever. AlphaFold 3, though, let me give you the breakdown on exactly what this thing can do. It's exciting. This is what I'm super stoked about with AI. This is a huge net positive for humanity. It has a 50% improvement in predicting drug-like interactions compared to like traditional methods. So that's huge as far as improvement. Like you mentioned, it's really focused on protein structures, and it can handle all of life's molecules and can model and predict complex interactions. What's amazing to me, beyond like just like, okay, we're seeing awesome improvements and this has got like really great use cases and it can help people, the fact that this is freely available for non-commercial use. So like if you're not like a hospital or like a lab with like some sort of funding, you're able to use this, or at least if you're not selling it, I guess. So yeah, all of this is available through the AlphaFold server. I think that that's really exciting. So essentially scientists can generate predictions and accelerate research. So yeah, for a research perspective, they're letting this be completely free. To me, that's what's super, super exciting. What do you think?
Yeah, no, 100%. This is, so a couple of things on this. I mean, like literally what it's doing, it's like allowing these researchers, if I sort of like read this correctly, to basically like visualize how these like tiny molecules like bind to drugs and their targets and stuff like that. That's, and what it can do is it sort of like not only helps visualize, but it just sort of like runs through iterations at a pace that it's almost incomprehensible, right? And with this sort of, with scaling loss and with how things just get exponentially faster and better, I guess I kind of like hover over this. And first of all, I know I love your obsession with the healthcare thing, but I think that also this is something where we really talk about AI, a ton around like, leaderboards and, it's kind of doing this and all that kind of stuff. But if you are a family or an individual that actually has like a serious health issue, do you know what I mean? Like it is actually like really counting on research to discover new things to try to cure whatever is ailing, somebody you love or somebody or you or anything like that, right? This is like an emotional thing to read, right? I mean, like this is like really speeding up research. And so when people sort of like get really caught up in like, well, is AI going to be good or not good? And you kind of like use the word net positive there. I totally agree. I mean, I would really encourage folks, like when we think about like, well, is it going to, I just got asked this question yesterday when I was talking to a board of directors around something, but like, well, what do you think are like the dystopian futures? I'm like, look, I don't know, but I do know that right now, the research in molecule, like drug discovery, things like that is actually going to make changes. So I will sort of like back that horse right now. And I just like love the real consequential real world sort of impact of that, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think there's so much there. And I actually have some comments on that, but what I wanted to say first was that, so Isomorphic Labs, who's kind of running this right now, it's like a sister company of Google DeepMind, but they're actually already using AlphaFold 3 with a bunch of different pharmaceutical partners to help design new drugs. So to me, what's exciting is this is already in practice. It's interesting though, because I know that this will probably get some criticism from a number of people that are like, oh, you're just taking this and you're going to go give it to the pharmaceutical companies and work directly there, and they're just going to like help their profits grow and make them a ton of money, and then they're going to develop drugs that are super expensive. It's so tricky with like healthcare because of the drug aspect of it. People on all sides of, I think, politics and everything like have all sorts of criticism around it, maybe how much money the drug companies are making, or maybe some of the legal liabilities they're shielded from. And so there's like a lot that goes on there. Personally, though, I'm super stoked for this because like no one else is going to be developing these drugs, and these drugs are net positive for everyone. If they're expensive, maybe that's some sort of thing we can focus on regulating, but I don't think we should ever focus on slowing down or regulating, like getting a solution. And as someone that has family members that have, cancer, specifically I have an aunt who has cancer, and she got approved to take a bunch of like new kind of therapeutics and new treatment methods that have been phenomenal, like absolutely incredible, that have really, really helped her in a lot of ways. So I'm a huge proponent of like, honestly, whatever it takes to get the new therapies, the new medicines, the new pharmaceuticals and drugs, if it fixes the problem, I think that we should speed that up as much as possible, put whatever resources we need to into that. And then if you want to have a conversation about like, making pharmaceuticals less expensive or like all that kind of stuff, yeah, I'm all there for it. But like, just, get it out there as fast as you can. And I think that's what this is doing. So for me, it's very, very exciting.
Yeah, it's actually a really good point, because I mean the justification from the pharmaceutical industry around cost is always around R&D, always. And if this starts to do that, it sort of like reminds me of, why I think, and listen, lawyers out there, don't at me, but I'm just telling you what I see. Like, I cannot get law firms like interested. I keep saying like, guys, you got to do this, but I just feel like once they do that, the billable hour kind of goes away. So I'm hoping that, with pharmaceuticals, as this speeds up the research, I'm not a conspiracy guy or anything like that. Like, I am sure they're going to do the right thing, because when I have pharmaceuticals, never done the right thing. But anyway, in this case, it is one of these things, right, Jaden, where like, if this is their bread and butter about R&D and like it's all that, I mean, look, maybe they just come out with better things and they can justify it and everything like that. So that's my hope that will go well. And the second thing and the last thing on this is just, it's obviously sort of like much lower stakes, but just remember, guys, like what generative AI does and what AI does, it iterates so fast, and it iterates actually pretty reliably. So if you can kind of like think of things not as high stakes as drug discovery, obviously, but just in your own life where a crazy amount of iteration to come up with some good solutions would help, this is how you use it. It's one of the absolute best use cases.
Yep, I'm super, super stoked about this. But if you enjoyed the episode today, it would mean the world to us if you left us a review. We're getting so close to 100 reviews on Apple and on Spotify. We're doing fantastic, all thanks to you. This is helping us to find amazing new guests. We have a great lineup. We've had some amazing people on. So if you could, we would really, really appreciate it if you could leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. And we hope that you all have an amazing rest of your day.